friends, Linda here with Life on Summerhill. I'm so glad you came to join me today. We would love for you to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future episodes. Today I'm so excited because we are making a heart garland out of air dry clay. And this is the first time I've used air dry clay and I am so hooked. I have other projects planned, but let's get started making this vintage, beautiful air dry clay heart garland. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is warm up a small ball of air dry clay in our hands. And then once you get a nice ball shape, you're gonna press it down like so. And I turn it over a few times and I press. And I use this part of my hand and I push down in the middle. And then once you kind of get it to where it's somewhat flat, you're going to take your dowel and gently start in the middle and move the clay out as you're moving from the center. And then you can take and turn it and do it again. Now, it's another easy way is just to turn your dowel. So I just keep using my dowel and smoothing it out until I get it to big enough for my cookie cutter, but also to the thickness I want. And I don't want these super thick, so I'm going to stop at about 1/8 of an inch thick. So next we're gonna put a cookie cutter on here, and I actually found the metal one works easier than the plastic, but the plastic still works. So you just press it straight down, and then I shifted it back and forth just a little bit, and then lifted it back out. So then I pulled the outside and I made it into a ball, put it off to the side, and then I lifted up this one into my hand. Now I just take and I use my finger to finish off the edge and smooth it out. And if your edges are pretty rough, you can take a little bit of water on your finger to smooth it out. But I do want mine to have a little bit of a distressed look to them, so I don't want it to be too perfect. I actually like those ridges that are in the side. Okay, so now I just put this back on the table and I use my little dowel just to smooth out the edges just a little bit. And then the next step is you need to take a toothpick and you need to make your holes. And what I did was I came in about 1/4 of an inch from the side and about 1/4 of an inch down, and I made a hole. And when you first put that hole, it's just not gonna be big enough because you need the hole to be big enough for this needle. So you need to keep moving that hole bigger for the needle so that you can run the head of the needle in there. So if the head of the needle goes in there, you're big enough. So then you can take your dowel and just lightly go over that and smooth that down too. So then repeat on this side. Oh, you can use this too, but I didn't want to get clay all over it. But you just make that hole big enough for the head of the needle to fit in there without it touching the sides, and then take your dowel and smooth that out too. Okay, so this one is ready. So now I just have to let it dry for 2 to 3 days and then I can paint it. For the next step, we need to paint our little hearts, and I'm using Sherwin-Williams Agreeable Gray. You can use chalk paint, you can use acrylic paint. I'm just using some sample paint that I keep in the house to touch up on the walls. So, and I really like this color, so I just decided to use wall paint, but you can use anything. So basically you just take and you're just painting it straight on. And paint adheres to this clay really, really well. And it dries pretty quickly too. For the next step, we're gonna add some rub and buff to all of our hearts. And to do that, you just need a clean, lint-free cloth. And so what I do is I open the rub and buff and I squeeze it up just a tiny bit, just to get a little bit on there. And then I take my finger like so and I dab a little bit on it. So all I have is a tiny bit. And then I use the paper to kind of smooth it out and get some of it off. And then I'm going to go in one direction at an angle all the way across it. So we're just gonna rub it on here and let it pick up the natural texture of the air dry clay. And as you can see, I try to get some of it off because I don't want it to go heavy on the whole thing. So I just rub it on here and let it pick up those beautiful imperfections. Isn't that pretty? So let's continue with all the rest. Okay, and then what I do is I lay out the pattern of what I want, and I've already played around with this. I know that I want it to be a small one in the middle. So once you've got it laid out on the table, then you kind of know where to start and where to end. So for the next step, you need to take your string and make sure you've already cut it to the length that you want your string to be. So I held my string up to where I wanted to hang it and basically figured out how long I wanted it. So next, you're going to tie a little tie on the end. Then you will sew into the top corner and then up through the bottom, like so. And then pull it through all the way down so you can continue with your next heart and then repeating until you have all your hearts onto your string. Okay, so to hang your garland, you just put one corner up and then you bring it all the way over, making sure gold is showing on the front, and then you hook the other end up here. And then what I do after that is I just move my hearts back and forth until I get them where I want them. So what'd you think? Did you enjoy this simple and easy DIY project? Some great ideas of where to place this in your home is you can hang it on your mantle, you can hang it on a mirror, and it also would be pretty to hang it diagonal on a mirror. Or like me, you can put it on your hutch. You can hang it in your office or any room in your home, and you don't have to decorate with it just at Valentine's Day. You can put it up all year long. It also makes a really nice gift. So again, I am so thankful you came to join us today. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out. And please give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day and we'll see you soon.